$100,000 plumbing job. Now, most people would think, okay, that's got to be a big commercial job or something like that. But really, what we're going to talk about today is a residential service plumbing company doing a repair on cast iron piping under a house here in the Dallas area. And I've got my special guest with me, Mr. Robert Renfro. Rob, how we doing, brother?
Good, man. Good.
Man, it's great to have you in here. Now, I remember seeing a post that you did one time, $100,000 plumbing job. And it was actually over $100,000. But this was a big house that had a lot of cast iron problems underneath the house. How do you start on a job like that? How do you get started? How do you even determine, look, all this has to be done?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fact. Cast iron goes out. Cast iron lasts about 30 to 40 years. So we ended up being at a house that all the bottoms of the pipes was out. Even two, it was broke on the horizontals going through the floor. So that's even an added problem because you're going to have to chip each one of those out, you know. Figure out how many entry points we have to have. Safety, you have to bust a few holes in the house to get in and out of the tunnel. I think if you remember the video, I had put wood on the sides and I put peat moss in the bottom, and everything was hung with standoff clamps and all thread, and very good plumbing job. I mean, I believe it was about $120,000. That same job today would probably be closer to $200,000.
Isn't it crazy, number one, just how the price has gone up in the past few years? But first of all, and look, this video is sponsored by Leak Pro. Leak Pro is the equipment that I use to go out and determine water leaks under slabs to help locate them. I think that's one of the best electronic devices that I've ever found. That's why I got involved with it. But this was sewer, so this is a little bit different. Now, Leak Pro is actually building a training center right here in Wiley, Texas, and we're going to be able to teach plumbers how to isolate sewer leaks and determine exactly where they're at. Now, $100,000 sewer repair job, though, that's bigger than just finding a leak. That's determining pretty much that all the sewer lines under the house are compromised and need to be replaced. It's hard to isolate a leak like that because you can't get anything to hold, can you?
Well, I mean, I have a trick that nobody else really knows, and I've used it for years and years and years. You're going to hear it, so get ready. What I do is I put a test ball in a sewer line, and then I fill the hose system with water, and then I flush glitter down every toilet. And what it gives me the ability to do is to run my camera in there and watch the glitter going out of the pipe.
You bet.
And it's a great tool that I use. And on that one, I could never even get it to hold water because there was no bottom in the pipe. There was no sides in the horizontals. So it was destined to be repiped.
Now, what I've always been taught is, same way, you fill it up with water, you try to get it to hold, then you send test balls in all these different areas, isolators, to see if you can get an area to hold. Sometimes you can't, but $100,000 job then, you say almost 200 now, at $700-800 a foot. Not sure what the different prices are at different companies now. It's been a while since I was that deep into a company, but first of all, you got to go in and locate where the problem is. Now, if it's the entire system, then you bring in a dig crew and say, look, literally your job is to dig in, uncover everything, give us multiple access points for safety reason. What we don't want to happen is, and we do see probably every year, every other year, a plumber crawls up under a house and dies because he dug too small of a hole. He didn't have it done right.
Yeah.
And normally they dig a tight hole themselves.
Yes.
They don't do it properly. I mean, you've seen some of the holes that I've climbed in because I've seen some ones you've climbed in. They're 3 feet wide. They're 4 feet deep.
Yeah, I'm not
Me and
going
you can get in there and crawl back and forth next to each other.
Yeah. And we do GoFundMe's for these plumbers that die in these holes all the time.
You bet, to try to help them out.
Yeah. And didn't have nothing,
Right.
So I think we raised about $25,000 for him.
I have plumbers all around the country say, look, we don't tunnel.
Yeah.
They just cut up slab, go through the floor, do things like that. Luckily here in Texas, our soil is solid enough. We can tunnel in. I've never seen a tunnel that we've done collapse, chafe off. I mean, I've never had that problem. And man, at Texas Green Plumbing, we had dug a ton of tunnels. Have you ever seen one collapse or chafe off that you've done?
No, as long as you take the dirt off all the way to the slab. I mean, that's the key, is getting the dirt all the way up to the
You
slab.
bet.
There's really nothing to cave in. I mean,
It's hard packed on the
yeah,
sides.
it's hard packed on the sides. So
You bet.
Be very hard to have a cave in that would hurt you.
So we get in, we make the repair. Now, do you put in cast iron or do you put back in PVC?
PVC.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's what we're going to these days. And look, Rob and I, we believe in doing things right. I remember at Texas Green Plumbing, everything we put in was stainless steel. I do stainless rods, stainless clevises,
Yes.
because I don't want them to decay
Yep.
and rust out and anything like that. But you can have, say, a 100, 200, 300-foot tunnel under some of these houses here in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy. Now, the neat thing is, like you said, you penetrated through the floor. So all the vertical piping chipped out around it, pull it out, replaced it, tied on everything above it. I remember seeing the post you made. You put plastic up on the walls,
Yep.
plastic on the floors. I mean, literally, you protected the house probably better than I've seen most plumbing companies do.
Well, yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's about the customer, you know.
You bet. Every
making
day.
them comfortable. And when you're doing that much of a penetration into their house, it's going to, you know, you have to take care of you dot your I's and cross your T's.
I love that. Now, how hard is it to walk up to a customer and got to say, look, you've got to spend $100,000 to fix your sewer and get it going?
Well, I have this conversation with people all the time. I always weigh out the cost of not doing something. So, you know, a guy with a $500,000 or $700,000 house,
$1 million, $2 million house.
Yeah.
You bet.
what is the cost of not repairing that sewer line? So when you really weigh it out, the $100,000 is it's a necessary evil.
It makes it make sense.
Yes.
So water lines. I know that you're very good at water line leak detection. You are one of the first people that I met that studied it like I did.
Yep.
And it's not just, hey, we just go and find leaks and we fix them. There's a science behind it. There's a way to do it. There's a way to do it right. And it really is a big deal. But to walk into a house, what is the most expensive water line leak repair you've ever had to do?
Well, put me on the spot here, but
It doesn't have to be perfect. Give me a ballpark.
I'd say probably the biggest repipe would be 60 or 70,000 on a residential situation.
And we've come pretty close to that because we did an entire repipe. They had a repair before that we had gone in and fixed. A year or two later, they had another one. They're like, look, I don't want this to happen again. Well, then we need to do a repipe because it can happen again. So you've got to be able to give them options, which is huge in the plumbing industry. But to get in and find the problems, take care of the problems, at the end of the day, and I love the way you put that, what is the cost of not fixing this repair?
That's right.
And if you can present that to somebody and let them know, look, yes, you have a problem. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I'm the plumber. I didn't cause the problem. There was nothing that I could do to cause the problem, but you do have it. And here are your options of fixing it. Number one option is don't fix it. Here's what's going to happen to your house over time. That's going to be catastrophic. Here's the option to fix it where it is. We can jackhammer the hole, fix this one hole, or jackhammer through the slab, fix this one hole. Hopefully there's not another one that appears later, but there could be. Or here's third option. We repipe this, we repipe this, we repipe this.
Yep.
And you've always got to give them options. Most plumbers don't do that. Most plumbers walk in and say, hey, here's the problem. We want to repipe overhead, or hey, we want to jackhammer up your floor.
Yeah, and if you're not giving them options to do something to keep them from having leaks in the future too, I always marry water quality with the leak detection.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, usually if you're doing a pinhole leak or you're doing a reloop, you should be talking to your customer about whole house filtration or whole house softening. You know,
that can eliminate a lot of the problems from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I remember one of the first times talking to you about a water heater. First thing you just walk in and say, well, wait, where's your water filtration system? Let's start there.
That's right.
And if they don't have one, well, that is going to help extend the life of the water heater, whether it be a tank top or a tankless top, no matter what.
No matter what.
So I love that. So anybody that has a plumbing company today, would you recommend learning slab leak detection, sewer, water, either one, because a lot of plumbing companies these days, really, they don't do it. They pass it off to somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, in the residential market, that's where the good, and just speaking from a business ownership or a money standpoint, that's where the good money is right now, is on the leak detection, because we have an aging system, we have an infrastructure system that's failing. So you always want to be on the side of that failure, that's the repair side, you know.
Think about that, guys. You don't want to just be that's why a lot of the companies that we used to call to do location are now plumbing companies.
That's right.
They're like, look, we make more money on the repair side than we do on the locating side. But the locating side is what gets you in the door.
That's right.
Remember, this video was sponsored by Leak Pro, leak-pro.com. Any other last words for plumbers that want to get in and learn how to do stuff like this?
Yeah, I mean, just get with your local plumbing shop or plumbing union or any plumber you know. They usually will bring you right in and teach you how to do it. Me and you both learned because someone took time to show us how to do it.
Yes.
And it's very important, if you're a plumber out there, reach out to your high schools and different avenues that you can do to get young people interested in the trades.
And if you want to learn more about Rob, go to Service Plumbers of America and join that Facebook group, or better than that, go to Service Plumbers of your state, apply to join, and Rob's looking for great ambassadors all across the country to help run and manage these groups for their local plumbing companies. Rob, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate it.
No problem, brother.
Guys, if you love this video, you're definitely going to love the next one.